Hello, ladies. Welcome to She. It's been a fun day. I don't know if some of you had some problems with the link or some technical problems. The team said that it was with the Amazon crash. So I'm glad that you're here. For those who are watching on YouTube or Facebook, the link is below. You can still join. We have an amazing session today. She builds, she owns, she invests, she is me, she's all of us here. So thank you. Remember that we are on a mission to help 1 million women create wealth through real estate while fostering personal, professional, and spiritual growth. So thank you for being part of this mission. Thank you for doing amazing things in the world, right? I think all of us here are chasing amazing things. I get super inspired to hear your stories, the things that you're doing, the things that you have done, the things that you have overcome. So today, just buckle up. We have an amazing lady. We're gonna just get into that in a little bit. For those live in Facebook, please join on Zoom. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be watching the replay if you guys had technical problems. Just a little disclaimer, we're a real estate investment firm. We offer investment opportunities and every investment has risk. So please run your numbers, do your due diligence. Every speaker that we have offering different products or services, we do not endorse any of them. We invite them because we want to learn from them. And if, before getting into business, of course, do your due diligence. A little bit about us. Well, she was brought to you by Massive Capital. As you know, I was one of the co-founders of Massive Capital. I started with them since the beginning. We built a portfolio of 1,500 units across Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and Colorado. And we also have a sister company that does new construction for retail centers. So combined, we have a portfolio of $500 million of assets under management. And now I'm actually in the transition on just focusing on land of course, for building these retail centers and other projects. You guys have heard my story. For those who haven't, if you are new here, if this is your first time, please drop a 1 in the chat. I want to see who's new. But for those who don't know, I started my real estate journey by accident. I bought my first piece of land because I didn't know what kind of asset to buy. I didn't know what kind of business to start. So bought my first piece of land, and it was better than just having my money in the bank, right? Then I started exploring commercial real estate, and now I'm just gonna be focused only on land. Before that, I definitely want to remind you the first and the third Tuesday I'm here with you guys. But the second and the fourth Tuesday of every month, Trevor is here just talking everything about commercial real estate, education, investment opportunities, everything. So be sure to join every Tuesday. We're here. We have something going on. We haven't sponsored Skyline Title. You guys know that it's important to have a title company that understands the investment side, that can help us have a smooth transaction for both sides, the buyer and the seller. So check them out for your next transaction. These are some pictures of events that we have hosted, and I know this year has been I've been very busy. You guys know I got married, and I haven't hosted a lot of events, but I have a lot of plans. I'm getting ready to start hosting more events. So let us know where you're from. Where do you wanna let us know if you have attended one of the events, or where do you want an event. Just use the chat. I'll come up to the chat in a little bit. And of course, so these are some stats of why real estate, why personal start in real estate. And I'm not gonna get deeper into this because our speaker is fully focused on real estate. So we're gonna talk a lot about these benefits of investing in real estate. But just to leave you with some numbers, on average, women keeps 81% of their wealth in cash. And of course, with today's economy, that lose value over time. So just putting your money backed up by a real estate asset is, uh, in my opinion, a good move, right? 43% of women have to take career breaks, either, getting married or, just transitioning to different businesses or, raising a family, different reasons, right? Taking care of elderly parents, different reasons that 43% of women have to take career breaks. So when that happens, we just want to make sure that we have a source of income. So real estate help us with that. Of course, taxes. Last session, we had a really good session about taxes and how important is to use, it doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much money you keep. So it's important just to make decisions based just on our taxes, right? As a strategy, there's so many strategies in real estate. Definitely consult a CPA that understands multifamily real estate or whatever real estate that you are doing. Be sure that they understand that, because there's a lot of CPAs that are really good, but they just don't understand all the different strategies that are in real estate. So check them out. All right, without further, I wanna start introducing our speaker. I'm super excited. Some of you, yeah, we had a lot of technical difficulties, but I'm finally, we're finally here. She's here. Some of you guys are here. So let's get the most out of it. I'm super excited. I didn't want to postpone this call because I know you guys are gonna get a lot of value. Dr. Erin Hudson is a serial entrepreneur, real estate, and managing partner at Quattro Capital. With a passion for helping others build generational wealth, she brings a unique blend of business acumen and heart to every investor and relationship. Before entering the real estate, Erin built and sold multiple successful chiropractor clinics through her company. She later transitioned into multifamily investing and within 3 years completed more than 231 transactions. Today, she's actively passively invested in over 2,500 multifamily units across the United States. At Quattro, Erin leads the investor relations and contributes to the firm's philanthropic efforts. She focuses on helping busy professionals create passive income streams while making a meaningful impact in their communities. Her work is especially focused on empowering women and families to take control of their financial future. Welcome, Erin, to She.
Hello, hello. It's absolutely an honor to be here. I love that I get to see all of your faces, women on the screen. There's nothing I would love more than to see more live faces versus pictures. Even if you're multitasking and you're making dinner, or changing a diaper, or giving a child a bath, or driving home from work, turn on your camera. There's nothing more awesome than seeing y'all hard at work, whatever it is that you're doing. And y'all's faces are what light me up. That's how I can bring 110% if I see your face. But there's only just a couple of you. It's hard to get so fired up. So help your sister out.
Yeah. I always tell them, please turn on your cameras. And now that we're gonna have a small group, of course, start thinking on your questions, and it's gonna be like a very open, back and forth conversation. So first and foremost, we wanna learn about your background and how did you build
Sure.
your clinics, sold them, and started investing in real estate. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Holy smokes, that's like a loaded question. Well, I can tell you this much, and maybe some of y'all can relate. I actually grew up in a home. Let me just orient you really quick. I grew up in a home, and this is why I like to see faces because I can see the other hands raising saying me too. It helps me to know I'm not alone. But I grew up in a home where my parents worked 9 to 5 jobs, building somebody else's dream and not their own dream. I can tell you that. We sat around a dinner table at night. If we did, it was once a week on Sundays after church. And I can assure you of this. The terms ROI, investments, retirement, those were not common terms flung around my dinner table. And the truth is, if I really recollect, for example, I will never forget one day coming home from school, running down the street, popping into the house, running down the hallway, knocking on my mom's door, saying, "Mom, you're never going to believe what happened today." And sure enough, she says, "What?" I said, "I just want to tell you." And she goes, "I'll be out in a bit." And if I'm brutally honest with you, that was a response that was one that was commonly said. Why? Because she was so busy working and she was being robbed by a company that rewarded hard work, but certainly not ownership. And I don't know about you, but I know that we were not put on this earth for like mediocrity. At the time, I didn't quite understand it. It was like that little bit of, let's just say, rejection. I didn't understand it, but I will tell you, I felt it, right? And I knew at the same time that there had to be more to life. And I will say, I did feel like I had that entrepreneurial spark inside, but I knew come hell or high water, when I got older, I didn't want to live a life like that. I love my parents, but they seriously were owned by their job. And when it doesn't benefit your pocketbook and they're owned by their job, it steals from us as children, right? And it's not a knock on the 9 to 5 whatsoever. It's just a matter of there's got to be another way. And this chick was on a mission to find the other way. Let's put it that way. So, Jasmine, I don't want to keep rambling on. If you have questions or if you want me to continue on, you tell me.
Well, that's no, that's really good because I mean, even if you have that entrepreneurial spark in you, you also went to, got your degree and build this clinic. So tell us a little bit about that and how did you start in real estate in the first place?
Yeah, well, let me just tell you how it went. I'm giving a shout out to Tanya. Thanks for turning on your camera. One more girl to fuel my fire. So anyhow, look, I think that as I remember what it was like growing up and my parents working for somebody else, I always wanted to be my own boss. I ended up becoming a doctor. I had 30 employees, and life was good. And to be honest, to anyone else, it may look like total sheer success, meaning that I had a couple wellness centers, I had the employees, I was making 7 figures on the regular gross income, but there was a problem. I had this restlessness inside of me that I knew that there had to be another way. Why? Because my work owned me. I ate it, I drank it, I slept with it. Even though it was benefiting me, there was a slight problem. And the problem was that the likelihood of my kids becoming doctors was slim. And I knew as I was at my practice figuring out how to get into real estate, I knew that I could certainly teach my children how to make money while they sleep. And so, long story short, I started to get into real estate. I lived in Southern California and I was buying homes. Thank you, Isabella. I was buying homes in Indianapolis, Indiana. Why? It was a very, very low barrier of entry, meaning I could buy homes for $50,000. I could put a tenant in place and rent it for $800. I had no idea that was possible. Guys, there's a reason I'm going to tell you what I'm about to tell you. It's so that you can learn a little bit about me and learn that there's always a way. When you feel like there's no way because I'm too old, I don't have the money, I don't have the right connections, that's all a lie. As a matter of fact, those are just excuses. And at the end of the day, excuses are well planned lies. So, with that being said, I found out Indianapolis is where I wanted to start investing. And all of a sudden, what do you know? I got turned on to, when you put, I hate to say it, but it's like meditating, thinking on it. Y'all know this. Where focus goes, energy flows. And I will tell you that I am a chick that is persistent, consistent. I don't let things die. I am on it like white on rice. I won't drop it. I'm an anomaly. As a matter of fact, my brothers and sisters always said, she is the odd duck. Like, what Kool-Aid is she drinking today? That was how I grew up because I always had all these different things that I wanted to do. And the way I thought, doesn't matter what anyone thinks because the truth is that's not even your business what other people think. You can't let them trip you up. So I will tell you, I started to, whatever you want to call it, manifest it, think about it, dream about owning real estate. And Indianapolis, Indiana was my choice. Why? Two things. Number one, you could get a tenant out if they didn't pay rent within 30 days. I lived in California and it takes 2 years to get a tenant out of your house. So you want to go to an area where you can get a tenant out if they don't pay rent right away. The second thing was it was only $50,000 to purchase a home that actually had wood floors, maybe 600, 700 square feet. Well, I lived in Southern California and the median house price was $1 million. Okay, so that felt really good. I put it out there. I run across one of my buddies at the gym. I'd already told him I wanted to get into real estate that same week. I walk into the gym the next time, and guess what he says to me? Hey, I got a buddy that's selling some homes in Indianapolis, Indiana. I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, get us together. I said, where does he live? He lived in Orange County right by me. And I said, let's get together for dinner. We get together for dinner. I'm thinking, guys, that I'm going to get together and I'm going to go buy one house for $50,000. Let me just tell you, that's where my head was, right? We get to the dinner table. He shows me, I said, hey, show me this house that you have for sale. He goes, well, actually, it's six of them. I said, well, how much do you want for them? $300,000. Well, I'm dying because six houses for $300,000. I looked at the houses, we talked over dinner, and I said, oh my gosh, I want all of them. And he looked at me and I said, no, I really want all of them. Guys, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had no freaking idea. I was planning to buy a $50,000 house. One thing I will tell you is I am as resourceful as one could ever get. Resources are great, but they mean nothing. Resourcefulness is freaking fire. So check this out. I go home, I obsess about it. I tell him I'll reach out to him the next day. I reached out to my father-in-law for a loan for $100,000. I did what? I didn't ask him, you guys, if he would give me his money and borrow it to me. It's about your wording. I said, hey, I've got a great opportunity for you to make a great return on your money. Well, how much is that? Well, I don't know. How much would motivate you? I don't know, 8%, 9%. Great. I'll give you 9%. I got $100,000. Guys, I'm fast tracking this for you. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I want you to be hearing what I'm throwing down right now. You too, James. Welcome to the call, the only male on the call. That's awesome. So check this out. Oh no, it is James. Okay. So check this out. I got $100,000 from my father-in-law. And by the way, I didn't pay $300,000. I called him and I negotiated. I said, would you take 275? Because that's where I'm at. And he goes, no, not going to take 275. I'll take 278. Okay, well, fine. $3,000 more. Why? Because I'm going to tell you something that I learned a long time ago. Every time, I can't wait for you guys to come back to me and tell me that you did it and tried it on for size. Every time you go to get something, it doesn't matter what it is, ask for a deal. The most successful people ask for a discount every single time. It doesn't even matter what it is. I can't tell you time and time again of all the deals that I get on the daily, and my kids think I am freaking crazy. It's the most awesome thing you could do. And when you make a habit of it, you would not believe what ends up happening to you. The most successful people always ask for a deal. Okay, so anyways, got him for $278,000. We're at $100,000, okay? Then I went to my bank account. I only had $100,000 in my bank account. Great. So I used the last of my money in my bank account. And then I went to my credit card. And you have a check that comes with your credit card. So what did I do? I wrote a check. And guess what? I maxed out that doggone credit card with that check that I wrote. And then I put another check from another credit card. Guys, what am I saying? You just find a way to make it happen. I didn't know how I was going to make it happen, but I knew I had to. I knew this was my grand entrance into real estate. So I did not start with buying one home. I started with buying six. Okay, fast forward, check this out. So all of a sudden, people start finding out, my friends, my colleagues, other doctors, and they're like, wait a minute, you're buying homes in Indianapolis? Like, I'm interested too. Well, remember, I was out of money, guys. So what did I do next? I went on to Craigslist and I went and found, for example, my next purchase was I found three homes, truly, truly, for $100,000. What did I do? I took two homes and I turned around and sold them each for $50,000. And what did that do with the third house for me? I got it for free. I bought three, sold two for the same price I bought three, and I kept one for free. And then what did I do after that? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Within 2 years, I had 26 single family properties that I had acquired in strategic ways. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Hold on, it gets better. I'm like an infomercial. Wait till you hear this. Word gets out, everybody wants to get a home. They don't know how to do it. They got connected to me. So what did I do? I started to help other people get homes. And I went on within 3 years to do 231 transactions. Meaning, if I bought it, I turned around and sold it, that counted as two. 231 transactions. Okay, well, that's cool. But check this out. What I did is this. How many of you have heard of a wholesaler? Raise your hand if you know what a wholesaler is. Awesome. I'm going to tell you if you don't. So what happens is I could get a home, put it under contract. I can assign it to somebody else and somebody else can buy it. And I will literally wholesale them the deal. And in Indianapolis, you can make about $2,000. Make sense? So I could get the house and I could turn around, put it under contract, not buy it, sorry. Put it under contract, turn around and assign it to somebody else. And I get $2,000 for a $30,000 or a $40,000 home. There had to be another way, guys. $2,000 wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough to get my goat. I was like, there's got to be another way. And how many of you have heard this before? He who solves the biggest problem gets the biggest paycheck. What was the biggest problem? Well, my colleagues and friends and family, guess what? They all lived, in different places. But there's three things I knew for sure. I knew that they would not want to have to put lipstick on a pig, i.e., redo their house that they're about to buy. I also know that they don't want to have to find a tenant to go into their home. And I also know that they don't have a vetted out property management company. But I did. How? Because I bought those 6 homes and that was like my trial to get it all. It already came with the property management company. It already came with the construction people that put lipstick on the pig. You hearing what I'm saying? And they're the ones that found the tenants for me when my tenants moved out. So I already had a proven system. So what did I do? I went back. I'm a vision caster. I already told you I'm resourceful as hell, but I'm a vision caster. So I went back to the property management company and I said to them, hey, listen, there's a lot of people like me that are looking for investment properties. And I could bring you a heck of a lot of investors, a lot, troughs of investors. I don't know how on the hell I'm going to get troughs of investors, but I know it's in my future. I said, listen, there's one thing. I'm going to bring them to you and I'm going to give you so much business. You have to promise me one thing. What's that, Aaron? You have to take care of them like they are my family, like they're my brothers and they're my sisters. And if you take care of them the way that you've taken care of me, I'm going to bring you so much business, you're not going to know what to do with it. Okay. Well, clearly, sure enough, those 231 transactions, you ready for your mind to be blown?
Yes.
Check this
Make
out.
a mistake on the chat.
I did 231 transactions. Guys, I'm not bragging. I could give a flying rip about myself. I hope this speaks to your heart in a way that you've never had it spoken to about rising up and getting in the game and taking massive action and telling excuses to go to hell. I literally transacted 231 deals without an office, without a business phone, without a website. Hold on, it's getting better. I had never been to Indianapolis, Indiana, and I owned 26 homes. Every single one of my investors, not a one, had been to Indianapolis, Indiana. Not to mention, I transacted all these deals in between seeing patients between my two practices, along with five little babies at home. So, with all the love in the world, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? Just like I told you in the beginning, I just got chills and I said that out loud. I'm not following any script, guys. I'm speaking from my heart right now. And I just got chills. Why? Because I desire for us to rise up in the most beautiful and mighty of ways. And it is so much possible if you have the right people that you can reach out to and grab a hold and connect. And okay, anyways, I'm going to pause because I have more to tell you guys. So, how cool is that, right? That I get to help other people win at the game of life. But let me tell you something. Those buyers were not people that came off of Craigslist and were cold. Get a load out of this. They were all warm. Every single one of them were warm. Somebody that I got introduced to. And then guess what? When you do good sound business, they go out and they tell their friends and they tell their family because they want them to win too. And that's the greatest honor I could ever have. If you love what I've done for you, go share with your friends and bring them into the fold, right? I truthfully didn't need the money. I was very successful over here, but I love a deal. Who doesn't love a deal? We can all go to Marshall's or Ross or TJ Maxx. Nordstrom's is awesome. I'd love to, but I only get one outfit instead of five. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I just love a deal, a girl that loves a deal. It was a natural progression, guys, for me to go from single family to go into multifamily. And I'll never forget, I got invited to go to this multifamily event. And are you good, Jasmine, with me just going?
Yes, no, go ahead, go ahead. No, we're following it. Yeah.
So, how many of you are loving what's going down right now? If you are, give me the Zoom clap. This is a Zoom clap. You don't even have to, you just go like, I hope
Just
you're learning something. So listen, I think that I got invited to go to this event. Thank you. I got invited, Audrey, you're so sweet. I got invited to go to this multifamily event, and here's what I thought. No, thank you. I do not want to go to that event. That is just for the billionaires, and I am most certainly not a billionaire, and I can't afford an apartment building. There's no way in hell. I ended up going to this event, sat in the front row, my arms were crossed, and I had the look of disgust on my face. Why? Because I have five babies at home. I was trying to appease a friend. I really didn't want to be there. I sat in the front row, and all of a sudden, as the speaker was speaking, I had an aha moment. It was like, hmm. And it was as if I had been playing the game of Monopoly. Dead serious. You go around, you collect your $200, and the game I had been playing, I had been landing on Vermont. And I just found out as I'm in this conference that I am totally capable and worthy of landing on Boardwalk every single time, i.e., the apartment buildings. I went home, and long story short, I went and rolled up my mat. I ended up moving from California to Texas. Why? Because I had to burn the mother effing boat. Meaning, I literally left my practice. I brought in new doctors to my practice. I became a director. This was all like within 6 months. I became the director in my practice, moved to Texas because I knew I had to get the hell out. Otherwise, I would have 1 foot in and 1 foot out and not be 100%. So what am I telling you guys? I'm telling you that I did an absolute 180 and I reinvented myself at the ripe age of flipping 40. 40. Okay. So I go over, I leave. That's in 2017. I join the education program. I pay the $50,000. I get equipped 18 months in the freaking shoot trying to find a deal, getting educated, getting equipped, right? Well, and as an entrepreneur, we all have this, guys, ups and downs. We have highs and we have lows. Let's be honest, we all have them in life. Although on social media, what do you see? You see the highlights, you see the reels, you see the exciting stuff. You see a lot of peaks and you don't see a whole lot of valleys. But there did come valleys, and let me tell you, it was a hard hit valley. My first deal went to hell in a handbag. Remember, I took a massive pay cut to no longer be the doctor treating patients in my office. I educated and took down my first deal. I took down my first deal, and guess what it was? It was a $5.2 million deal in Houston, 100 plus doors. And with that being said, I closed on that deal. And 3 days later, all of the sudden, $35,000 had been taken out of the business bank account. And I thought I was going to die. One of my partners, it was a husband and a wife that were also from the same education group. The wife says, "Oh, well, my husband, he should be getting paid a buyer or a buyer's agent fee." And I said, "Look, that was never on the contract. We agreed that we were not going to, no fees on the buyer's side." Long story short, I had to hire attorneys. I literally had to take them out of the company. And you can only imagine, guys, I thought I was going to die because I had, guess what? $2 million of other people's money. Where did it come from? You remember all those other folks that had bought single families from me? I had said to them, "Hey, I'm moving over into the multifamily space. Would you like for me to reach out when I get educated enough to take down a deal?" Because there was such buy-in and there was such love, trust, adoration, and excitement, they came in and joined forces, right? And let me just tell you something. I had to replay the signs that I had ignored because there were red flags, guys. This is another learning opportunity I'm sharing with you.
Yes.
There were red flags that I ignored. What do I mean by that? At time when I retraced, because anytime anything goes wrong in your life, guess what we got to do? We got to go back and reevaluate because we don't ever want to screw up and find ourselves in the same place we found ourselves before. It's part of our growth, right? And so I had to go back and reevaluate. Let me tell you, that was a humbling experience. It was a humbling experience, and it was a massive expense and a high price tag I had to pay for what I learned. It was a costly tuition. And I don't want to get down and belabor it, but the bottom line is I made a move to partner with a couple that I never should have. And the reason I did it, I was eager to take down my first deal and I was so excited. And I thought, no, they've got to be great people. They paid the $50,000 price tag to get in. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
and I have heard that, sorry to interrupt you, but I have heard that so many times, like especially when we are new to the multifamily, like we want to get into our first deal no matter what, right? Like we try super hard and
yeah.
even if people have good intentions, like there's so many puzzle pieces on the deal that can go out and it's just a whole thing. I have heard that a lot. So even if
Yeah.
you're eager uh to jump into your first deal, definitely take your time and meet the people. Date before you get married.
Yes, I totally agree. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read you this quote that I have over here that goes perfect with what I just said. Sometimes life tears down what isn't meant to stand so it can rebuild what is meant to last. I don't know about you guys. You got to hear that again. Sometimes life tears down what is not meant to stand so it can rebuild what is meant to last. Check this out. The pain, it was brutal, but it became the pivot that pointed me toward purpose. And you're never going to believe what happened next. So 4 weeks later, I remember thinking, to heck with all of this. I'm going out of multifamily. Maybe I'll just go back to practice. This is just nuts. I don't know if I could ever keep going with something like such, right? 4 weeks later, the education group that I actually had my mentorship through put on a big conference. There were 1,000 people there. It was nuts. They called me to the stage because they wanted to give me an award for closing on my first home. Let me tell you, I have never walked up to a stage the way I did that day with my literally my tail between my legs. I had never felt what imposter syndrome was before until that day. And I thought, I am so embarrassed to go up and get this award because it was an absolute epic fail. I go up to the stage and the MC says, "Hey, before we give you this award, you need to tell everybody what you did to celebrate." And I said, "What?" And I'm like a deer in headlights, right? Because all I can think about is the crazy chaos that had previously unfolded. And she goes, "You need to tell everybody what you did. It went around our office. Everybody heard about it." And I said, "Oh, yes, yes, yes. Actually, I take my kids and we go to third world countries. We go to places like Belize, Nicaragua, Haiti, and we go love on the families." And I said, our heart right now is turned towards Nicaragua, and we're building single family little cinder block homes, 250 square feet for the single mamas living in the trash dump. It costs us $5,500 per one, and I built 12 of them. And so I promised I would build a 13th home to celebrate the close of this apartment building. And I said, "Listen, my kids' hearts and lives will never be the same because it got wrecked in the most beautiful of ways, loving on these children that have far less than we do." And I started to get emotional on this stage. And I said, if you ever get a chance to go and to pour into others like we have, you will never be the same ever again. And I remember feeling this, you guys, this burning in my belly that I could not even kick. It wouldn't stop. And all of the sudden, out of my mouth, I said, "I'd love to build two more if I can get two people to match me." And the room went dead silent. And I remember thinking, what did I just do? And all of a sudden, this strapping man from the back of the room says, "I'm for 5,500. I'll build a home." And all of a sudden, a woman in the front row raises her hand. She says, "I'm in for 5,500." And within 10 minutes, y'all, we built 10 homes. I had raised $55,000 amongst strangers at a multifamily event. I went to my hotel room that night and I said, "Lord, why did you put that on my heart?" And you want to know what I got in my spirit? Those that rise to the occasion to pour in something such as this are the people that you need to build with. Oh, I got chills again. And I didn't really quite know what that meant. I just knew that my heart was turned from that sour, I got to get the hell out of here, from being a part of multifamily, to maybe there was something. And fast forward 6 months later, Quattro Capital was birthed. And guess what? That gentleman, the fire starter that stood to his feet in the back of the room, he's my partner today. And the woman that stood to her feet in the front of the room, she's my partner today. I didn't know. I felt like paparazzi was all around me that day. I didn't even know who I had met. People coming up to me saying, "Hey, I don't have 5,500, but I've got 500." And you know what the most beautiful thing is that I got to say to them? I'll never forget one lady, I put my hand on her heart and I said, "The Lord doesn't care the amount. It's the desire of the heart." And it was just the most beautiful, amazing thing. Fast forward, guess what? When you are hanging out with other like-minded individuals that are about impact and not about the greedy dollar, that is when the magic happens. Fast forward together, we've closed on 26 apartment buildings, over 2,500 doors. As a matter of fact, 17 of those apartment buildings we closed on in 2021. 17? Really? There's got to be a hand in that. That's all I know. And so, truly, when you're about sowing good seed into other communities and helping investors win and making other people better and helping build financial freedom for others that never thought it was possible, the reward really, it's not selling, it's serving. You're literally serving your people. So even though I've raised $80 million to close on our deals and played a good part in that, it's about really helping other people win, finding out what makes them tick. How can I, like from the bottom of your heart, anyone can smell manipulation from a mile away. But if you find out what makes people tick, how you can help bring freedom to them, what keeps them up at night, all the things that nobody else asks, guess what? You become a true anomaly. And that's what you want to be. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second because I've already given you a mouthful. Jasmine, what you got for me, girl?
Yeah, no, there's so much that I want to ask you. And, before, let me switch gears really quick because this is very important. You mentioned your kids and how you get them involved into this part, but you also get them involved into real estate, right? Like my dad has this saying that you gotta teach your kids how to fish, not give them the fish.
Yes.
So you create a whole system, a whole plan for them to get them into Airbnb and all that. I'm very curious to hear all that part as well.
Wow, wow, wow. This is awesome. Well, I wish I could show you my presentation that I'm working on right now because I'm actually speaking at an event at the end of the month to 300 people in Chicago, and it was a little bit about building a legacy. But, anyways, I'll sum it up for you. I wish I could show you pictures right now, but I don't want to waste time. I will tell you, when I got involved in the multifamily space, it's very difficult to get kids involved in the multifamily space. Like, how are you going to do that, right? So what I did is I actually had purchased back in 2017, I purchased this high-end Airbnb. Every time I purchase property, there's got to be multiple exits on it. That's another nugget. There's got to be multiple opportunities in which you can do with that land. What I did is I bought this property on 5 acres. Down below, there was this beautiful little pond. And all I could think about was, well, crap, I can't get them in multifamily. So what I did is we brought in little tiny homes and we put them around the pond down below. And these tiny homes, the kids actually helped convert our shipping containers into tiny homes. And so, guess what? They're the ones that oversee the house. They're the ones that decorated the house. And every time the funds come in, every quarter we get together, we go over their spreadsheets. They get 50% as their fund money, and the other 50% that goes into their savings account as seed money for duplication for the next deal. Guys, it is the most amazing thing to sit at the dinner table and have family competition about whose Airbnb is doing better. Are you catching what I'm throwing down? So check this out. It totally evolved from that because it took off, and I said, oh my gosh, I want to create these communities of Airbnbs in really remote, awesome locations. So I've got 27 Airbnbs down on the water in Canyon Lake, on the side of the lake. And then I've got 14, I have partners in them. I piecemealed great people to be a part of this vision that I created. And then I have a whole different set of group of partners for the wineries. There's 14 shipping container tiny homes over by the wineries, and we have that as well. Well, guess what? Number one, I took all of it in-house. I used to have a third party that built them all for me. Now we build all the tiny homes, stick built, and the containers ourselves in-house. And so I transitioned from Airbnbs, and now guess what I did? It's all about impact. How can we provide housing to those in need so that they can own a 760 square foot house, call it for under $65,000? And so that's exactly what it is. We're bringing affordable housing to others, single mamas, vets, those that need their dignity back and actually can take part in and live in a home that's affordable. So they start at $50,000 and then they go up from there. And we tap out at roughly 850 square feet, from 350 square feet to 850. So just amazing things that we're doing. And so that's where I'm really looking to partner with other people that have land, or they're looking for an ADU for behind their house, or they want to show their children how to start making money. Because look, if it's in the back of their house, guess who the cleaner is? Them. And it's an easy way to get them to get in the game and be able to make money while they sleep. So there's just so much that you can do with it. And that is what's really, really got my heart right now, guys, because there's so many people that we can help to have a home ownership for the first time when they never thought before it was within reach. Pretty.
Absolutely. I love your heart, and this session has been amazing. I love how everything is connected, and when you stay true to yourself, when you understand what's important for you and then you just share it, that's when people start raising their hand and you start building your community of like-minded people who are also interested on impact as well. So I want to turn it on for you to you guys. Please unmute yourself, raise your hands, and I know there's a lot of questions for you.
Fire away. No, don't be shy. No question is a dumb question. I will
There's a
tell
lot of questions. Isabella, you have a question? Do you want to unmute yourself? Yeah, there you
Okay. Yeah, how did you read my mind?
go.
Oh, thank you so much, Erin and Jasmine, of course, for always bringing this. I was so, I've been dreaming about having like a place like this up in New York. I live in New York in upstate, like a place where like a different kind of thing, also like a play for adults because we are so in the world right now, like it's all the phone and this, but I would like to make a place to disconnect so people can reconnect to themselves.
yes.
So this is amazing. Thank you.
Oh,
It gives
you're
me
so
like
very welcome.
it's being done, and also I have a son, a 12-year-old, and I want him to, to do all these things and to learn and to give, especially to give.
Yes.
Help
Amen.
others
It's so
because
powerful.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it absolutely is. I will tell you, as far as New York's a tough one with the tiny homes and going in that way. We're trying to stay within Texas, unless someone's got land and they have access. It's always easier if it's outside city limits on unrestricted land is a super easy way to get it executed and started right away. And that's more for our shipping container homes. The other homes actually go on concrete pads, but we still are just in Texas right now and Florida.
is there
Um,
any other states you're looking? Oh, I mean,
we're open to other states. It just depends on how hard and tough they are, right? Some states are really just difficult to work with.
right.
Um, but yeah, for the most part, we can go nationwide. It just depends on what you want to do.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
So,
I have to take a plane because I'm in
yeah.
New York, I know. Thank you.
Well, but remember the first lesson. Erin was investing in Indianapolis and she has never been, owning over 200 homes. And, like sometimes, yeah, you need to go, but some others you just gotta connect with the right people and be in front of the right deals.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, and Erin, so I do a lot of land. I have a lot of land here in Texas. Do you what in terms of the utilities and you say no restrictions in terms of the utilities for the container homes? How does that work? Do you?
So we're building more of not container homes, to be honest. We still will build them for you, but we've got another way in which we're building, which is much more favorable, and it goes on a concrete pad, so nobody can say no because it's the same as like a stick built.
Oh, okay.
The way that we do build them. If you're going to use shipping containers, the reason I say outside city limits on unrestricted land is because it's harder for municipalities to sign off on it. Our 27 units that we have waterfront, we're outside city limits on unrestricted land. So that's how we were able to get these 27 units on the water. We want to be able to execute and develop fast. We don't want to have hiccups, right? So that's why we did this subtle pivot into non-containers now. We're building more of the non-containers because we can do them anywhere. We can do them anywhere and we don't have to worry about municipalities at all. Because a lot of deed restrictions, what happens is a lot of deed restrictions want the unit to be built on site. They don't want mobile manufactured anything coming into their HOAs or communities. So we had to get rid of all the things that were problematic. Why? Because remember what I said when I was talking to you? I find solutions. I am a solution finder and I will figure things out. And so we had a little bit of a pivot on our builds and it's been amazing.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Vanessa, you're up next.
You're muted, love.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything today. As always, I'm speechless. I got chills as well. I'm so grateful every single time I get to be blessed enough to hear you speak. And I'm so blessed to have such a role model. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Truthfully, from the bottom of my heart. I would love to ask you maybe if you have any book recommendations maybe because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know, like maybe some books in terms of not only like entrepreneurship but also like mindset because I really admire your mindset.
Oh,
And I would love to like grow as a person like in the way. Well, I mean, you mentioned that you always had like that drive and like I guess the foundation for that mindset. But yeah, I would love to hear your recommendations.
There's two people that come to mind. The first one is Ed Milet, and it's The Power of One More.
Mhm.
Phenomenal.
I
And
love our.
there's David Goggins. What is the name? He's got two books. I'm not sure. Have you read either of his books, David Goggins? I've got him on Audible. I could tell you. Hold on.
I'm
Oh,
broken or something.
what does it say it again?
I thought I'm broken, but it's
Oh,
not. And something.
no. Hold on. I'm getting there.
Unbreakable? No. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Never finished. I just finished that.
Oh,
It's awesome. Never finished. Guys, it's just about the grit of, God, I'll tell you one more thing. It's about the grit and the power of the mind. Your mind is the most powerful thing that you have. It's not your physicality, and I'm going to prove it to you. Check this out. It is not your physicality. Yes, that's super important to be physically fit and etc. But it's the power of the mind. And I'm going to tell you the perfect analogy to this. I actually shattered my ankle in 2011. The surgeon, I was wakeboarding, shattered it. The surgeon says you will never be able to run again more than 2 miles. Your ankle will swell. It's going to be so swollen that you'll be in so much pain. It's never going to happen. So I had come from running 16 marathons, guys. I did 2 marathons a year, and all of a sudden I get this outcome from this surgeon. So I did not go past maybe 6 miles from 2011 until probably last year sometime. And all of a sudden, my girlfriend said, "Let's run this half marathon." And I was terrified. I was like, "I don't think I can. I'm not able to. The doctor told me no." Listen, we go to this event that was 3 weeks ago. The night we sleep in our tents because it was a glamping thing. We were sleeping in our tent, and literally my roommate goes, "Erin, to heck with the half marathon. Let's do the full marathon." Guys, I have screws in my ankle. Like for real. I was like, "You're crazy." But I will tell you, I went to bed and all that kept going through my head is, "Erin, you could do it. Just finish the marathon. It doesn't even matter the time. Like you could do it." I woke up that next morning and I was like, "I'm going to test the willpower and my mindset." Guys, I had only trained up to 11 miles. I ran 26.2 miles. I finished the marathon. I came across the finish line crying. I couldn't believe it. And the only limit you have is the label you put on yourself.
Yes.
That is the only limit you have because everything is possible, guys. Everything is. It just depends on how bad you want it, if you're willing to take massive action and fight through the crap that your head tells you that you can't, right? So I just gave you two books that are awesome, powerful books. And as a matter of fact, Goggins I've listened to multiple times, and same with Ed Milet. Because here's the real truth. In the morning time, I get to hang out with the billionaires every day. And those billionaires are not sitting next to me. They're the books, they're the Tony Robbins, they're all the successful people that have done it time and time again. And so, listen, I'm the only one responsible for myself. And nobody else is going to cheer my ass on. So I have to cheer my ass on. So what do I do every morning? I get up every morning like clockwork. Have I fallen off before? Absolutely. But I get up like clockwork, and what do I do? Every single day has 5 thankfuls of what I'm thankful for. Every single day. Why? Because I have to train the mind to have gratitude. Because if I wake up and gratitude is on my heart, what is it that I'm vibrating all day throughout the day? Goodness, love, magnetic. People want to be around me because I'm happy, I'm smile, I'm uplifting because I start my day with gratitude because there is the simplest, the littlest things that we can be grateful for. When I first started this over 5 years ago, probably longer than that, it was hard for me to come up with three. Now they just roll right off my tongue. I'm thankful for Vanessa and all the kind words that she just shared with me. I'm thankful for Jasmine for allowing me to come in and speak to you, amazing women. It was only 6 or 7, but you were the woman that were my divine appointment to speak into. I'm thankful for healthy kids, my strong body, my magnetic personality, my perseverance, my grit to get through a 3-year divorce. Whatever it is, guys. Like there is so much to be grateful from. Air in our lungs and the sun shining and a house to live in that's warm. It's about training the brain to find the goodness in our life because we sure as hell can all find shit all day, every day. And at the same time, we get to pick and choose who we want to be around. Do you want to be around those people that are bringing you down and they're just negative Nellies and they suck the life out of you and their energy is just nothing, but you feel like you got to go take a shower afterwards? You get to pick and choose. So I would tell you, go hang out with those people that want you to win at the game of life and go find the people where you can band together, be resourceful together, and be able to execute and go for the gold. You see what I'm saying? Go for the gold. We have too much opportunity on our hands, and many of us are sitting here on our laurels. Why? And if you have kids, you owe it to your kids. Okay, I will get off my pedestal. I'm sorry.
No, thank you. I think you're just inspired. This is just coming from
I
your
love
God.
the
I think
passion.
it's
I
within
love it.
you, right? Thank you so much for sharing all that. Guys, any other question? We're just on time. Any last words for Erin?
Listen, I saw somebody put in the chat. Can I get on a call with you? Can I coach with you? Listen, I do 15-minute calls. I'm all about pouring into you guys, loving on you. Come with your questions and get ready to get dynamic. We're not here just to be la, 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 like action, right? And then from there, I do coaching calls. They're $300 for 45 minutes. But if you are ready for fire and you get your stuff lined up, I'm telling you, in 45 minutes, you'd be shocked what you can get out of there. It'll be the best $300 you ever spent. As a matter of fact, I don't even do the $300. Maybe I do it if you wanted one, but I do them in sessions of 4. So there you have it. And listen, at the end of the day, I hope that what I shared resonates with your spirit and you guys rise up and go for it. There's so much goodness to be had.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Erin. I'm so glad that we didn't cancel. We had all kind of technical difficulties and we're here and this is the reason why we're here, right? Like you had a strong message to share. We're super inspired. Thank you so much for your time. Ladies, I really encourage you to connect with her, follow her on her social media. I put her webpage on the chat. So, we need to be around Erin. I'm so glad that, we're here. Thank you so much, Erin, for this. And I'm super excited to see what else you're gonna be doing because we're not finished, just like we said, right? Like, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm super excited to
All
whatever.
right, you guys. All right, take care. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.